Ayup Woodlanders.
Ayup Woodlanders. Welcome to another woodlog. Busy this morning. Karen's with me. She's picking the last few of the apple trees. Apples off the apple trees. Got one or two jobs I want to try and tick off the list today. One of them being get a charcoal burn underway. So I just lit the charcoal burner. While that's cooking away steadily, I want to try and get my apple orchard mown, so the area underneath all the apples, get all the grass and bramble knocked back. So I'm just going to switch over to the flail mower on the two-wheel tractor. I've just found a couple of little babies I want to save before I flail the orchard off. There's a couple or three little hazels I noticed. That's one there, isn't it? We'll dig that one up. So that's one. Three of them. We'll go and transplant them. And the other job I've been doing is these cherry trees just here. So that one there, that's morello, no good at all, has fruit on it, birds eat it before you get a chance to eat them. Karen doesn't like them anyway. This one, it's never had cherries on since we put it in, and you might see all these suckers coming up. Suckers are something that comes up from the root system, and cherry is notorious for it. And this area is meant to be the orchard, and it's just completely taken over, and in fact it's going into next door as well. So we're going to have these out, chop them up, and then I can flail over the top of all the regrowth and gradually keep topping it so that it knocks it back and eventually kills the root system. That's the theory. I don't want to use chemical, but it is an absolute nuisance. So we won't be growing cherries or planting them in the future. So to give you an idea, these apples Karen collects, and she's been making cakes and other such things with them, which are rather awesome. So we're just going to plant the hazels here, which you've no idea where it is, but I did coppice this last winter, and there's a few stems in here that have died, and I don't really know why, because it's been coppiced before. And that's what I find frustrating, because normally the more often you coppice them, the more likely is that the stool will survive. This here is what, like I say, I coppiced last winter. Because of the shade above, not great, not anywhere near enough sunlight, this has been grazed off by muntjac. So you see all that, muntjac and rabbits probably. This has been heavily grazed in here, which is not great. I'll have to monitor that. Because other areas where I've coppiced, down the bottom end, there's been hardly any damage at all, which is fantastic. But in here, they've obviously found a nice little shady spot for themselves. If you're ever going to transplant whips like this, is don't do what I'm doing at the moment and wave them about in the air. You want to try and get them transplanted as fast as possible, and if you can't do it the same day, heel them in, which means digging a bit of a trench, putting your plants in the trench until you're ready to transplant them into their final location, or pop them in a bag to protect the root systems, because any plants being transplanted do not like having their roots waved about in the wind or the sun or the frost. Surprisingly, you can kill a tree in a few minutes by not protecting the root systems. Tool Tip Tuesday. This is what I call my grafting spade. It's about just over 4.5 foot long. The end of it was longer than that, but it snapped. So it cracked, so I cut it off. It was about twice as long as that, and I use it for when I'm fencing. And it isn't doing ever so well now. There's a good crack in it in amongst the mud, but it's got a good weight to it. But I find it really handy for planting. Now, if you're a speed planter, this isn't the ideal tool at all. But it's sort of my go-to spade, and it's a lot easier than using a garden spade, because garden spades can jar your wrist, whereas this one, because it has no handle on the top, it doesn't jar your wrist like that. So that's a Tooltip Tuesday. I think it was called, from memory, an Excalibur or something like that. Excalibur. You can still get them. They're about 40 quid. But yeah, good tool that. Cobwebs in the eyes. Pick you up to speed. One barrel of charcoal done. Another one's just been loaded up. It's nowhere near ready. The other one took a long time to gas. We've got all our mowing done here at the top end. It's not quite a lawn, but not a bad little job that. Glad that's done. It's a stunning day. I've been complaining about the wet weather just lately, and it is very gooey underfoot. But today has been just a beautiful autumn day. Stunning. So I hope you get a chance to enjoy a few days like this. Hope it dries up a little bit too. And I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. We are back here on the giant cherry tree project. Picking up where we left off from last week, which was one mammoth job. We've got to cross cut the rest of the cherry, possibly get a couple of logs out of it for the sawmill. I'm here in Tesco Heartwood because I'm meeting Ian this morning. He's having these poles. That'll keep him happy for a while. He makes craft projects with those. And then we're off to Heartwood. Not quite Heartwood itself, but I'm doing a day with Heartwood as a volunteer. We've got some hazel work to do at Formark Reservoir on behalf of the National Trust Estate, who look after some of Formark's woodland management. And they've got some maiden cut hazel to do, which means that it's never been cut before. So that's what we're on with today, and hopefully we can have a hoard of hazel.
Ayup Woodlanders.
Good morning. We just got back after a little mini break. Karen missed the summer holiday because she was in hospital, so we went on a couple of 3 days up on a little cottage holiday in North Derbyshire called the High Peaks. Little place called Holmfirth. Scenery around there is stunning. We just got back yesterday, so we're back in full production and swing. We've got to get the charcoal burner going, unload Heartwood's charcoal wood that I got on Friday. And we're onto some larch poles I've got to peel. I've got to get them out of the woodland first. Just going to pop over and have a look at the larch I've got to get out. I must say, when we were up on our little mini break, the colours of the local beech trees were incredible. Right then, let's have a quick look at what we've got going on here. Got an awful lot of mess, I know that. So this has all got to be extracted. This was some larch that I felled when Eddie Glue wanted some poles. We will drag one of these out, and I think I'm going to go and get my log trolley then. I used to do all my extraction like this. This is madness, I need practice. That's got those out. That made me puff and pant a little bit. If you're looking for a little log trailer, you can't go far wrong with this. I'll have to do a Tool Tip Tuesday on it. So this is larch. If you want larch to last outside, in fact if you want any timber really to last outside, you've got to get the bark off. And with larch it's best to do it pretty close after felling, because the larch wasps come, which are these big gangly things, and they will inject into the bark and into the sort of top layers of the wood their little eggs, which then will overwinter and come out in the summer, spring and summer, leaving you with these rather ugly 4mm trophobic inducing holes in your timber, which is not very nice. Whereas if you can get it peeled fairly quickly, I've felled these in, when was it, August. This is my barking spud. It was made, I think, by Still, I think, this one, and I put my own handle on it. This was my very first attempt at a rather dodgy looking split cleft ash handle, but it's done the job. It's not pretty, but it has stood the test of time. I bet I did this 12 years ago, so that's alright. And it's got a nice little curve to it. I don't know if you'll see that on camera, which means you can use it to attack like that, or you can use it sort of like that, so that's pretty good. But failing that, using a good old draw knife is another option. Draw knives make a nice cleaner job. This is a bit hackett and scarper, but it's got like it's got an edge on that edge, on that edge, and on that edge, and it hasn't got to be like draw knife sharp, but as long as it's got some sort of fairly decent edge to it. There you go. An excellent winter activity that leaves you with sore hands and a warm body, and more than likely a sore back. I'll be honest, I did not expect to get all of that done. That is all the poles from its top end peeled, even some poles that I found in amongst the debris. That curve there is fantastic. I've no idea what I'm going to use it for yet, but I didn't want to cut it up because I just thought there's a purpose in there somewhere. In true log peeling fashion, my hands are sore, I'm sweating, and my back sore. I'm just going to go and shut down the charcoal because you might see it chuffing away at the top. It's been plaguing me this afternoon. It goes up and then it goes down and goes up and down at the temperature, that is. I've got to go and load up Ian's poles, so that'll keep me busy for half an hour.
Say you think about me because I'm starting to doubt we will find a way back to each other when you're on the other side of the world.
Clocks changed at the weekend, which means here in the UK we go on to a different time scale somehow, and I really don't like the next couple of months, November, December, because every day just gets darker and darker earlier. And so that's what I'm feeling today. Another hour, it'll be pitch dark. Okay, here we go. It was all going so well. Because of the amount of rain we've had, and this has been going on since last year, our basement underneath the living room has flooded again. And it's been ongoing for about a couple, 3 weeks now, since we had all this rainfall in October. So I spent the whole morning mopping that up, trying to work out where it's coming in from, and well, trying to sort out what I can do about it, because it just doesn't stop from pumping in. It just pours in the wall. Anyway, if you've got any suggestions other than digging up the whole of the driveway to find out where it's coming in, I don't know what to do about it. Anyway, that prevented me from doing what I was meant to be doing this morning, which was this coat rail here. It's not a coat rail, it's a plank of wood at the moment, but this plank of wood I bought in January and it's now November, and there wasn't any particular rush on it, and there still isn't. They want it to be a family coat rail, so coat rails all the way across, and then a bit of pyrography with their name on it. So I'm going to spray these up first while it's dry outside, then we're going to take the bark off this, clean up the veiny edge and give it a good old sand. Oh my goodness. Further delays to that woodland work because our sewers have cracked. It stinks down here. Normal woodland service will resume soon.